Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing the single price grid component challenge. I might have already done this before on my channel, so if I have, then enjoy the video, and if I have not, then enjoy the video. So you can go ahead and click on this card and you can just click on if you haven't done it before, then it's going to say download starter, so I'm just going to say restart because I've completed it, and then get started, and then I'm just going to download the starter files. Okay, and then once this downloads, I'm going to open this up and it should say something like what is them single price grid component, like so. So I'm going to extract this right here, and then it's going to extract into this folder, and then I'm going to open this folder in VS Code, and we can begin working like so. Okay, fantastic. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to create an index.css file. Okay, and then I'm going to link it inside here. So actually, you know what, I'm going to remove this. I don't really need that. And then I'm going to link this into index.css. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let's see. I'm going to remove this footer. Don't need this either. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of this text and I'm going to place it inside a div with a class of container, like so. And then now we can check the design and we need to see what we need to do. So we have one div here, we have two that are displayed side by side. Okay, and how does this look on the mobile? Let me just check this. So on the mobile, they are stacked one on top of the other. Okay, so what I'm going to do is right inside here, I'm going to grab this and place it inside an h1, like so. And then this, let me see how this looks. This is a paragraph, so let me grab this, place it into a paragraph with a class of green, like so. And then this another paragraph, so just place this like so. And then now I can grab all these three and place them inside an article. And then what I'm going to do is from this text that says monthly subscription to the bottom, I'm going to cut it all out and place it inside this section. Okay, and then inside this section, this first one, where is it, that ends at sign up, I think. Yeah, that ends at sign up. I'm going to cut it out and place it inside an article, like so. And then this second one, I'm going to place it inside an article, so that now when I go inside this section to display it as flex, then this article is going to be the first item, and then this second article is going to be the second item. So this is monthly subscription, so I'm going to cut this out into and place it inside an h2. And then let's see, so it says $29 per month. So let's see, so it's going to say $29 per month. So I'm going to place this let's place this inside an h3. Okay, and then this is going to be a span inside the h3 because it's styled differently. As you can see, it's bigger than this actual text. And then below this, we're going to have a paragraph that says this, so paragraph, and then this is a button. So let me just cut it out and say button, a class of btn, like so, that says sign up. And then this is going to be an h2 as well, so why us? It's a bit smaller than the no, actually they're the same size. And then these are list items, so let me create a ul. So ul with list items that are 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so this one says this, so just cutting and pasting, cut and paste. Oops, what did I do? Okay, cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste, cut and paste, and finally cut and paste. Okay, so now that all this is done, then I can save this, and then I can open this up using 5server. So just right click on it, and if you don't have 5server installed, then you can go into your extensions and just search for 5server or live server. You can use live server, right? You can install this, or you can use 5server, which I'm using 5server, like so, and you can install it, and then you can just go ahead and you can right click on your index.html file and say open with 5server, or right inside here just right click and say open with 5server, or you can go to the bottom right hand and say go live. Okay, so 5server is going to open up my dev server on localhost 5555. So let's just format this a bit, reduce the spacing. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so I have something running on port 5555. Okay, so it's going to use this different port, this other port rather than port 5555. And then we have that. Okay, so let's set this to the right and this to the left, and let's begin our styling. But we do need to get a font first of all, and we do need to get this color. So let me just copy these colors first because they're on top. The body has a font size of 16 pixels. Okay, so let me go inside my index.css. Let me just place my root inside here, and then on top of this, let me place my asterisk and reset the margin to 0, the padding to 0, and set the box sizing to border box. Okay, and then for the body, I'm going to set the body into a font family called Carla with a fallback of sans serif with a font size of 16 pixels. Okay, this is neutral, so let me just change this variable. So dash cyan, this is dash bright yellow, this is dash light gray, this is grayish blue, and then remember to have your semicolons. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab this font from fonts.google.com. Okay, so we need the 400 and the 700 font weight, so the regular 400 and the bold 700 right here. And then you can just use the import. So let's just import it, copy, and then at the top of our file, right on top of this, we can just paste it in. And now when we save this, then it should reset some bit of styling, and you can see, fantastic. Okay, so let's see, how does this look? Okay, so I need the desktop design, not the preview. So I want this background color on the body, right? This slightly blue background color on the body, right? So I'm going to say grayish blue on the body. So background color of dash grayish blue. Oops, is it really that? No, light gray. It should be light gray. Yeah, that's the light gray on the body. And then I'm going to go inside the container like so, and I'm going to give this container a background color of white like so. And then back on the body, I'm going to give this a padding of 1.25 rem like so. And then on the container, I'm going to give this actually not on the container, and I'm going to explain why. If I put padding on the container, then it's going to place padding on everything inside here, including this section, and I don't want this section to have padding because if you check in the design, then this section has like custom padding of itself. So if I place padding on the container, then it's going to move these colors inside, which I do not want, right? So let's go ahead and remove these bullets from here. So let's go into our index.css, and right on top of this, we can just say for the ULs, I want the list style type to be none, which is going to remove the bullets. And then let's style our buttons. So the btn, the dot btn, we're going to give this a background color of, should be bright yellow. Is it? Let's see. Is it bright yellow? Should be it. Let's add a padding of 0.625 rem on the top and bottom, and 1.25 rem on the left and right. Let's add a border radius of 0.5 rem. Let's remove the border, so border none. Let's remove the outline, so outline none. Let's have a cursor of pointer when we hover over it, right? Like so. Let's change the text color to white, so right below this, change the text color to white, and then let's change the font family, set it to inherit so that it inherits the font family of the body. Okay, and then let's change the font size to 1.25, actually to 1 rem really. There we go. And then let's change the font weight to bold. Fantastic. Okay, so that is our button. Not really the best style because it's not It's not one for one, but we're going to correct it once we get to that section. Now I want to go ahead and add this class of paragraph. So the paragraph that has a class of green then should have a color of bright yellow. Oops, bright yellow. Okay, so it changes this paragraph immediately. Is that really, why does this look weird? Okay, it's correct. Okay, and then we can have a font weight of bold. Actually, now I can just set the font weight to 700. Oops, 700, like so. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to go inside this first article, right? I want to go inside this first article. So let's go ahead and we can use pseudo classes. Let me bring this on top. We can use pseudo classes, so I can say dot container, and I want the immediate article, which is the first child. Can't type. Which is the first child. And just to test whether this is working, let me change the background color to red. You can see that now we are only accessing this article, right? So inside here, what I want to do is I want to have a padding of 2 rem all round. Okay, that's what 2 rem looks like. And then let me access the h1 inside here. Was it the h1? What did I have? The h1 join our community, and change the color to cyan. So change this color into cyan, like so. Let's have a margin bottom of 1 rem, 16 pixels. Let's go inside this same class and access the paragraph. Let's say margin bottom of 1 rem for both of them. Okay, so that we're going to have this. Okay, fantastic. Now I can go back on top and I can say that for all the paragraphs, then I want the line height to be 1.6, just to increase it a bit. And then I can say that for the list items as well, then I can I change the line height for the list items as well? Yeah, I can. Now, being that these two things are doing the same thing, I don't need to add this, right? Instead, I can just add this as a dot comma and the list item. Okay. Now that we have that, then I just need to change probably this text color. Let me just confirm this. Make it a grayish blue, right? So let me go inside the first article P. Okay, so let me see if I can do this. So I want to access the paragraph, which is the last child, inside the article, which is the first child. This is quite interesting. You can change these things in CSS. You can change the pseudo classes. So I want to change this color into grayish blue. Let's see that now it changes, right? That's quite interesting. You can just play around with CSS really, because I didn't want to keep on adding custom classes every single time that I want to change something, right? And it's usually good to have many ways of doing something, so that you have a large knowledge pool. Okay, so let's go inside this section now. Okay, so for the container, I want to access the section, and for the section, what I want to do is just say display flex. Display flex, so that happens. Now for mobile screens, I want them to stack one on top of the other, right? So flex direction, I'm going to set it to column so that they stack like so. And then inside here, let's see, I want to access the container, section, and the articles. Let me see if that's how I structured it. The container, the section, and the articles. Right, okay. And then inside here, I want to have a padding of 0 on the top and bottom. Okay, 0 on the top, because I already have 2 rem on right here, right? And 1 rem margin on the bottom of this paragraph, so that's quite big. So 0 on the top, 2 rem on the left and right, and 2 rem on the bottom. So that this happens. Look at that, okay? Now I want to access the article, which is the first child, right? So let me just check this design. Now it won't open. Are you serious? Okay, there we go. So this design, let me check these colors. So the first one has a dark cyan, and then the second one is just a bit lighter, right? So let's see. Let me say the article that is the first child, like so. Let me say background color, set this to cyan. Okay, And then what I can do is I can have a padding on the top, padding top of 2 rem, like so. And actually now that I'm adding this here, I'm thinking that I should just have 2 rem everywhere on the top and bottom. Yeah, it should just be like that. I think that would be much better. Okay, and then now what I want to do is I want to access the second article, and you can access it using nth child 2, like so. And you can just set this background color into, let me grab this color and then just make it a bit lighter, just a bit lighter. Yeah, just right around probably there. Okay, now you can access this using nth child 2, or you can access it using last child, like so. It still works the same way because this article is the last child of the section element. So that's basically what this means, all of this. Okay, and then now what we need to do is we need to style this text a bit differently. So let me just check this out. So it is white, white, and white. Okay, so I can just go ahead and just set the color here to white, and it should work. Look at that. Now instead of adding white on every single part of this, you can just add it once. And then now what I want to do is I want to copy this below this, right? And I want to access the h2s, and for the h2s, and actually, you know what, I'm doing this wrongly. Actually, no, it's still correct. It's still correct. Let me just have a margin bottom of 1 rem, like so. And then let me access the h3. So for the h3, okay, I want the font size of the h3 to be 0.625. No, let's say 0.8 rem. So it's going to be very small, this h3, right? Save this. It's going to be smaller, right? 0.8 rem. Let's just say 1 rem. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I want the font weight for this font dash weight to be 400. Okay, and then now I want to access the span. Remember we placed the $29 inside a span, right? So I want to access the span and then change the font weight for the span into 700, and then change the font size into something like 2 rem. Then move this upwards, so that we're going to have that. Okay, now look at this design. Look at this. The $29 and the text are kind of on the same line, right? So let's do that. We can do that easily by just going on the h3 and just saying display flex, and then align item center. Okay, and then now we want to add some spacing between the $29 and this text. So I'm just going to go inside the span, and I'm going to say margin dash right, set this to 1 rem, push the margin just a bit, and would you look at that, looking amazing, right? And then now I want to access this again, copy this, and then access the paragraph, and then I just want to say margin, I can't type, margin bottom of 1 rem, pushed away from the button, and actually not margin on the top and bottom of 1 rem, and 0 on the left and right. So push it on the top and bottom, increase the margin on the top and bottom actually. And then now actually what I want to do is this button, I want this button to probably span the entire way. How does this look on mobile? Okay, so on mobile it spans the entire way, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my custom class of .btn, which is right here, and then I'm going to set the width to 100%, and there we go. So it spans the whole way, and then reduce this border radius to 0.3, just a bit. Okay, so that's that. And then now I want to access this second article, that is the last child, and I want to access the h2 as well. Set the margin, can't type margin bottom of 1 rem. Okay, like so. And then probably I think this is correct as it is. Now all we need to do is we need to scale this up. Okay, just need to scale it up. So let me place the screen right there. Now what I want to do is, the first thing is I want to add a media query. So I'm going to say at media for a min width of 768 pixels. Then I want to access the container, and I want to access this h1. So let me just remember how I accessed it. And this is very important when you're adding media queries. If you want to change the particular style of an element in the media query, then you have to access it the very same way that you accessed it on top. Otherwise the media query will not work, the styles won't apply. I found that out the hard way, believe me. So I'm just going to copy this because this is the h1, so right here, and then margin bottom is going to remain the same. The color is going to remain the same actually. Now all I want to change is the font size. I want to change it to 2 rem. Okay, make it bigger. And then for the container, what I want to do is for the dot container, I want to say set it to a fixed width of 700 pixels. Okay, and then I want to set the margin to auto, which is bring it to the center like so. Fantastic. Okay, and then now what I want to do is I want to access this section and then display this first article and the second one side by side. Okay, so I'm going to go inside the dot container and I want to access this section. Is that how I did? Yeah, dot container section, and I just want to say display flex. Oh wait, it's already displayed flex, so I just want to change the flex direction to row. There we go. Okay, look at this. Now what I want to do is I want this first article to have a flex of 1 and the second article to have a flex of 1. So just like we did on top, where was it? Just like we did here, right? I'm just going to copy this and paste it inside here, and I'm just going to just change the flex to 1 like so, and then I'm going to do the same thing but now for the last child, right? For the last child, and change the flex to 1. So save this and look at that. Now it is looking amazing. And then finally, one thing that we do need to do is add a border radius on the container. So for the dot container right here, I'm going to add a border radius of 0.625 rem like so, so it's a bit rounded. And then of course on these articles as well, because these articles are overflowing just a bit because of flex 1. So what I'm going to do is right here and right here, I'm going to say border radius. Wait, I want to access only this border, right? Only this border. So let me say border, what is it? Border bottom left radius. Set this to 0.65 rem like so, and then this should say border bottom right radius. Look at that, look at that. Fantastic. Let me see how it looks on mobile, just to make sure that nothing breaks. Okay, and now on mobile, look at this. On mobile now we need to add the border radius on this second article, only on this second article. So let's go ahead and do that. So for the second article, which is the last child, so right around can see it, this section last child, section last child, section last child, right here, I can say border radius, or rather border bottom left radius 0.625 rem, and border bottom right radius 0.65 rem. And would you look at that, now it applies correctly. Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, and then now I just need to remove this border because I've added it here, right? I need to remove this border from here, otherwise this happens. Okay, so CSS is just a bit of playing around with everything. So the border bottom left radius is going to go back to 0. Okay, there we go. Fantastic. Now I just want to move this container to the center, so let's go ahead and do that using a media query. So right on top of this, I'm going to say that for the body, display flex, underline indent center, and justify content the center, and the mean height of 100 people heights. Okay, and now everything is centered. Fantastico. And yeah, actually that is the end of the project, really. You can see it's a very simple project, just involves some playing around with CSS and adding a bit of styling for yourself, and you know, everything works. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you have reached this far, and if you are not already subscribed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.